Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Pamela Williams, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some knowledge that will help you develop a self-care routine that will help you on your emotional and your mental wellness journey. And the thing most people miss about self-care. Most people realize that they do need to take care of themselves and they need a self-care routine between work, between family, between kids, between spouses, difficult people, just between life. We know that we do need to care for ourselves, but the problem typically is finding the time. Now, when I'm working with clients, the number one thing, an issue that they have a problem with when it comes to self-care is time, right? And finding the time. So what we do is we figure out the best time to actually develop this routine, right? So the first thing you need to do when you are wanting to develop a self-care routine is figure out when you're going to be able to do it. That entails using, or what I use, really simple, a time management tool. But what you could do is just block off the time that you know will work for you by looking at everything that you do in your life. So you've got work, you've got sleep, you've got kids, you've got a spouse, you've got your day. Figure out what you're doing and when so that you can pencil in a time that is devoted just for you. So working out your time is actually really simple. It just is a broad overview of what you're doing in your life that you sit down and you look at, and then you can figure out the best slot that works for you. All right, that's number one. The second thing, when it comes to self-care and what most people miss, this is the thing that people miss the most, is that you have to concentrate on all parts of who we are. Typically, when people are engaged in self-care and a self-care routine that's obviously working for them, they're either doing something just with the body, so they're working out, right, or eating, right? They're doing something just with the mind, or they're doing something just with the soul, or they're doing the body and the mind and not doing the soul. What you actually need to do, and the key thing to remember here, is you need to focus on the three parts: the body, the mind, and the soul. It's imperative to do that because that's how you bring balance to your life, to yourself, and to the system. You have to nourish all parts of us. And all parts of us are the body, the mind, and the soul. That involves doing the work physically, doing the work emotionally, and connecting to Christ, or that all figure that is for you. For me, that happens to be Christ. So we'll break it down even further. When you're doing the work physically, that means you do what works for you in terms of, do you want to walk? Do you want to run? Do you want to bike? I box. I love a good boxing. I don't box someone's face in. I've got the punching bag. And let me tell you, when I'm whacking that bag, I'm releasing a ton of emotions. So figure out what works for you physically that you can do, that just get your heart pumping, get yourself moving, because you feel so good when you are actively doing something and you're working and you're helping your body and your organs, right? So you do the work physically, you find the right foods that work for you. What can you eat that will help you help yourself? And what I mean by that is that if you eat foods that naturally the body is wanting, guess what? The body was made to heal itself. So if you put in the right foods in your body will heal itself. That's what the cell's wanting to do. But you just have to put the right fuel in. So figure out what works for you. Broccoli doesn't work for me. It might work for you. I love cauliflower, right? My meats, chicken, turkey, very lean stuff. But guess what? You have to bring balance. Like I talked about balance to the system, right? That means on the weekends, I pretty much eat what I want. So figure out what works for you in your routine, into your body, and eat the right foods. All right? Emotional. Now, nourishing yourself emotionally means recognizing your emotions, acknowledging what they are, and releasing them. So if you're pissed off, it's natural to be pissed off. You get angry, You get angry, right? But you want it to come out in a healthy way. You don't want to smash someone's face in. That's typically reacting, right? But you want to respond. So recognize how you're feeling, that time to check in with yourself, and release how you're feeling by writing, speaking, whatever works for you. And also the second component of the emotional part is with the mind. That is learning something new. Learn something different. Put that in your bucket, because what you're actually doing is you're helping to rewire your brain and you're learning something different. All right. Third part, when we come to connection, to me, I connect to Christ. And how I do that by doing the work through connection is through meditative prayer. I have my prayer room, and within my prayer room, well, I'm not going to tell you what's there because it's private to me, but I will share a little bit. I've got some crystals in there, I've got some books, I've got some mementos, I've got some stuff that I've collected on my journey that will help me tune out the outside and come into the inside, which is what you want to do. And I pray and I meditate and I connect with Christ. And the other component to this self-care bucket of connection is creativity. Be creative. What do you do for creativity? And I don't want to hear you say, but I'm not creative. We're all creative. Everybody is creative. You just have to find what works for you. I write. I dabbled in a little bit of painting a couple of years ago. Sometimes I tune into my piano. You got to do what works for you. Maybe it's scrapbooking. That doesn't work for me, but it might work for you. So figure out what you need to do that is creative, that you're creating something, because I'll tell you why it's imperative. When you are in the flow of creation, you cannot ruminate. You won't be ruminating. And ruminating is when you've got thoughts going, and then you go down a rabbit hole of coulda, shoulda, woulda, or you hate this person, or this person hates me, or what did I do? You don't want to go down that rabbit hole, right? You're ruminating. You don't want to ruminate. But when you're creating and when you're in meditative prayer, these two avenues, you will be present and in the moment. And that's where you want to be, right? So the thing most people miss about self-care is that they only focus on one part, but I'm giving you this bit of knowledge that will help you. Focus on three parts: the body, the mind, and the soul, nourishing those three buckets. And I'm telling you, you will bring balance to your life. And more importantly, you will release the stress that you are feeling. So before I go, I'll leave you with this. When you are feeling stressed out, it is your body's way of trying to connect with you and tell you, or your subconscious's way actually of trying to reach out and tell you, hey, you need to take some time to bring balance to yourself and the system, right? So focus on developing a routine that works for you, that is going to help you on your self-care journey. What I've given you is some tools that will definitely do that. And figuring out that time, that is imperative, because once you figure out the time, you can then start plugging little parts of what you want to do that's going to help you stay active, nourish your mind, and connect. All right? Until next time, take care, and remember, you are not alone. All right? Bye.